Many people feel anger toward God after a loss. They ask, why me? Why my loved one? You may have prayed for a different outcome. You may have had hope for something different to happen, and it didn't. You may feel guilty even because you feel anger. Many people feel that way. And that's why today I want to explore this topic. Because yes, it is a sensitive topic. However, it happens a lot. And we want to explore how to heal, how to express the way we feel, and also how we heal. At the end, I'll give you 3 ways that you can do that you can express it, and at the same time, you can heal. Hello, this is Ligia Huben, thanatologist and grief specialist. My heart is with you because this topic is from the heart. And the thing is that we don't talk about these things. I have several clients, not to say many clients, that share this, that they are angry at God and that they cannot say it to people because they are judged. People criticize them. When we have the seminars and the groups, people feel free to say how they are feeling because that's what we want to do. We want to validate the emotions. Remember, we always say that. I always say that. In this case, the anger is toward God, and we will see how we can express it. Besides many clients sharing that they feel that way, this topic is very close to my heart because I experienced it. I lost my father when I was 12 years old, and Mother Superior, because I was at school at the time, was the one who gave me the news. She told me that my father had died after praying at the chapel for his health, because he was here in Miami, the hospital, and that day he was being discharged, and he died suddenly. So when she gave me those news, I said, that's not possible. I just prayed for him. And that was such a painful moment in my life. And yes, I fell on the floor, I cried, I screamed, and I was angry at God. And you know what happened? Mother Superior was so understanding, and she held the space. She did. She held the space so I could cry, I could express. She didn't tell me, don't say that. That's a sin. Sometimes people say those things. So when I did all that and I was able to do it, then that helped me. Mother Superior would never know how helpful she was doing that, because that gave me the opportunity to heal. Gave me the opportunity to make that decision that I wanted God in my life. I was able to express all that, and then I had that space to feel peace and to feel comfort in my faith. That's why this is so close to my heart. And while I was doing some training, when people came to be facilitators of support groups, that I did it with Reverend Dale Young, the director of Pastoral Care Baptist Hospital that I mentioned him before. We had this woman, such a beautiful woman. She had lost a child, and she shared with us that she had lost her faith. She was angry at God rather than losing her faith. She was angry at God. And she was very humble when she said that, and we held the space for her. And especially talking, with Reverend Dr. Dale Young, being a man of religious person, he held the space for her. And that's what we said, to be prepared, that it is common, it happens in support groups that people may share that. And we want to be loving. We want not to be judgmental, but to be accepted, to just give that space. Because you know what happens? That God knows that we are angry already. So when we are able to express that, we are venting. All those emotions that we feel inside come out. Because the thing is that when we hold anger inside of us, that's poison. That's poison to our hearts. And as Father Casey called it, he has a program in YouTube. He's great, such a great father, because he talks about different things. And he has one video about being angry at God. And he says that God already knows that you're angry. So share how you feel. And that's why I'm bringing this message to you, that you go to that space, you validate how you feel. You may have heard of the British writer C.S. Lewis. Actually, I have his book here. In the book, A Grief Observed, actually this is the first book I read when I was taking the class at University of Miami in Death and Dying. This was the first book I read about grief. It is a classic. It's a tiny book, but it is so deep. It is classic. And here he talks about when he lost his beloved wife to cancer. And he questioned God. Being a Christian and being a man of faith, he questioned God. And it's very strong, the book, when he talks about that. However, as he went through the process in doing all that, his hope came even stronger. His faith stronger, and his hope. So that shows to us that it is so important not to ignore that emotion, not to suppress it and to just pretend. No, to go in so you can heal. Now, I will share with you 3 things you can do to help you heal and express. The first thing I would say to you is to write a letter to God. Yes, to God. And write that letter and express all the things you think, you feel, all that to the paper. God is there. God is there. And you write and you write and you release all those emotions. I didn't know about writing a letter to God back when I was a child. I wish I did. I didn't. I learned about this while, I studied thanatology, grief, and all that, and we know how healing that can be. So that is one thing that you can do. The second thing that you can do is talk to a spiritual leader, a spiritual guide that can listen to you, being this a pastor, a priest, or if you do not belong to a religion, practice a religion, to someone who's spiritual, that you can talk about these things without being judged. Okay, I have clients that they have had that experience, talking to a priest when they feel angry, and it's beautiful, the experiences that they have had and they have shared with me. So that also helps. And the third thing that you can do, and this depends when you open your heart, making the decision to embrace that faith again, to embrace the possibility to heal. Because you know what happens? When we let go of anger, we open the space to peace. We can embrace peace in our hearts, and then we can start healing. I hope that this message, from a very deep part of my heart to yours, has helped you. It is important to validate how we feel, and it is also important to express that anger so we allow ourselves to heal from the inside out. If you like this message, one thing that you take with you from this message, give me a like. I would totally appreciate it. If you liked 2 things, you can subscribe, you can share it with someone, and you can also help that person. Thank you for being here. It has been very special to to share this with you. From my heart to yours.